And 65 degrees in the middle of February only means one thing. It's almost time to start riding these machines. Now I know everybody's getting their prep done, you're getting your gear right, you're making sure your wheels are A1, you're ordering your new parts for the bike, getting ready for riding season. But do not forget to get the main thing ready for riding season. And the main thing is yourself. These machines are no good if your coordination is not on point. They're no good if your physical fitness isn't there. You're gonna be up on the bike, all of them got pegs, and if you want something like that, you're gonna be real crunched up. To help me get ready for riding season, I got this bad boy right here. This is the TST R9 Ultra e-bike. And this bike right here is a moped-style type of e-bike, to where it's gonna offer you 2 separate batteries that go 130 miles, but they also have the pedals on here, so you can hop on this bad boy and use the pedals in conjunction with the battery operated motor. This thing gets up to 32 miles per hour. That's a class 3 setting. We're gonna get into more of the specs on this e-bike, and I'm gonna tell you how my journey has been with this e-bike, because I've had it for about 2 weeks. So without further ado, let's hop on and ride. All right, we outside with it, baby. We on the TST R9 Ultra e-bike, man. On the trail right here, sliding around, man, cooling. So let's get into it, man. First off, this company, I want to thank this company for reaching out to me. Shout out to TST for reaching out to me, man, and even presenting me with the offer to test out this bike. You know, I don't have any e-bikes on this channel, so they probably looked at me and saw, you know what, let's introduce him to that e-bike life. And I just want to say thank you, man, because as you can see, I'm enjoying the hell out of this e-bike. Off top, out the gate, TST, let's talk about the company before we even get into the bike. They reached out to me, said they was gonna send the bike out. The day they said that, the bike came the next day. Now, I'm gonna tell you where I was surprised at. All right, so right when it arrived, I thought it was gonna be a lot lighter, because I wasn't paying attention to the moped-style thing when they said it's a moped-style type e-bike. I was just thinking this thing was gonna weigh like a regular bicycle. Needless to say, I needed some help bringing this bad boy into the house and bringing it into the garage because of the size of the box. Once I got it put together though, it was pretty light as far as being able to lift it up. I can put it in the truck and ride out if I want to, you know what I'm saying? All right, so once we got this bad boy situated, got it inside, got it in the garage, it was time to take this thing up out the box and get ready to put this thing together, man. Now, as far as putting this bike together, comes with the instructions on there, and the instructions has a QR code where you can go ahead and look and get you a video reference to how to put this thing together. But needless to say, it was simple to put together. I think it came with the wheel off, with the front wheel off. So I had to attach that on, which was probably the most difficult part. But besides that, it was pretty simple. Now, as you can see, it's an e-bike, so it comes with a lot of different components, but some of the same components that a regular motorcycle comes with. It comes with the brakes and all of that, and of course the 2 wheels. But I was really surprised at the build quality of this bike. I'm putting it together and everything feels sturdy and plush. Feels like a luxury type of e-bike. Maybe it is, I don't know. How much do e-bikes usually cost? All right, I'm gonna go up here and do some stuff, but I'm gonna show y'all the power that it takes to get up the hill. Let's see. Let's go right here. You're good. Let's turn these on so y'all can do it like that. Now we're gonna go up this hill right here. This is a steep grade. Maybe I'll connect the AI glasses and just show you how easy it gets up this hill. This hill is, you can look behind me, this hill is the real deal, baby. And you can just get right up there with no problem. See, I'm right at the top and it's all good. This thing is fun, man. So once I got the hang of actually being on a bicycle again, this thing became fun. Now, to be honest with y'all, I hopped on the bike and I was like, all right, I'm gonna take it from the driveway to the front of the neighborhood. Needless to say, my first ride on this bad boy, I went like 6 miles, man. I couldn't even hop off. That's how fun it is, but that's how easy it is to ride this bike. Now, be it this was my first time on an e-bike, I had to get used to some things that I really didn't know about, like the Shimano or whatever it is, the gear system. So it's 7 different gears on this bad boy, and basically the lower you go in the gear count, the easier it is to pedal. So right now I'm in the highest gear. I can drop down to gear 6. It gets a little bit lighter. I could drop down to gear 5. It gets way lighter. You know what I mean? Or I can come back up and it catches again. I haven't had any issues with the gear shifting. But remember, this is my first time riding an e-bike, so it's something that I had to get used to. Now, what I love about this bike and what goes back into the exercise factor and the coordination factor, as you can see, I'm pedaling on this bike, right? But watch this. I can just press the throttle and I can just float and go as I please and don't need to pedal. So whenever I get tired, I can just do this and I'm able to ride with no problem. Now here's the beauty of this bike right here. You got 5 different settings, level 1 through 5. Well, actually you got 6 different settings if you want to include 0. 0 is no motor intervention. So what does that mean? You crank this bad boy down to 0. Let's see, there you go, that's 0. It's all me right now. No intervention from the motor, it's just all me. Then you have level 1, which gives you a little bit of assistance. Level 2, which gives you a little bit more. Level 3, powers you up more from that. Level 4, then level 5, you are out the door. See that? You pedal a little bit and this thing will get to going crazy on you. So let's go down some. We'll bring it back down to level 3. But you got different settings on here. As far as speed goes, you got the class 2 setting where you can set this bad boy up and it's gonna get you up to like 20 miles per hour or something like that. And then you have the class 3 setting, which is what I keep it on. But I don't have it on the class 3 setting out here. I have it on class 2 because of the laws that have to deal with the trail riding. But when you put this bad boy on class 3, it is enough speed to get you going, family. Let's pull over a little bit, talk a little more about some of the specs of the bike, and give you guys a good look at the bike and me and how I compare as far as size and if this is something that you may like. See if we can find a good spot out here, guys. All right, family, it's time to go off-road with this bad boy. Take him back through the path. All battery power. All battery power on this. You see the suspension going to work. You see the suspension going to work. We're right here on the mountaintop, baby. All right, cool. Now that we off the bike, I can go into a little more detail of how this bike operates and the specs on this bike and how the hell it got me all the way out here in the middle of nowhere in the woods up to no good. So first off, you got a full suspension system right here in the front with the forks. Then you got the shock right here in the back. Now, as you can tell, I'll show you guys some B-roll footage of how I go through the mountains. I go over tree stumps and all of that and turn this same moped bike into a mountain bike. You also got 1500 watts and 90 Newton meters of torque running on this bad boy. All right, now like we discussed on the way up here, we got the 7-speed Shimano drive train on this bad boy. Also, this bad boy goes up to 32 miles per hour, like I previously mentioned. You got two settings. You got the class 2 setting on this bad boy, which goes up to about 20. And then you got the real deal full all go class 3 setting, which goes up to about 32 miles per hour. Me personally, with my weight and both batteries on this bad boy, I've gotten it up to 28 miles per hour. Also, like previously mentioned, you got two batteries on this bad boy. You got this one here and the exact same battery back here. Both of these offer 65 miles of driving or 65 miles of riding each. Me personally, I haven't used one of the batteries in full at all. I've ridden it out probably about maybe 15 miles and then came back 15 miles and it was still at like maybe 70%. You also got the hydraulic disc brakes on this bad boy in the front and the back. Brakes were easy to put on with the wheel. Had a little bit of squeaking at first, right? But I put some little rubbing alcohol onto the disc right there and the squeaking has been gone. Now, just like a motorcycle, you got your chain right here. Me personally, since I'm riding it out here, it's a little bit dusty out here. We're in the middle of the woods. I lubed this bad boy up. It's giving me no issues. It changes through the gears fine. Also, as previously mentioned on the ride up here, this bad boy has 6 different level settings. Level 1 is 0, then you got level 1, then you got level 2, all the way up to 5. 0, no motor intervention. 1, a little bit of intervention from the motor. 2, 3, all the way up to 5, to where 5 is just you hauling ass. Along with that, you get a seat like this. Now, this seat right here is for one person, but it's a long seat, so it offers the ability for people with different body types, whether you got short legs or long legs, you can be able to adjust. And I find myself riding from about here to about here, and I'm perfectly fine. As well as a passenger seat. Now, I know you're looking at it like, all right, can you really carry a passenger on this? That is one of the complaints I have about this bike, is that I wish it had like some foot pegs or something like that, because I have brought a passenger on here. My girl and I were on here and we were riding the trail for miles without an issue. She said she was fine back there for an extended period of time, so I'm sure we could have went longer, but also if you take breaks and hop off the bike, stretch a little bit, you can go 60 miles on this bad boy with 2 people. All right, now as y'all know by now, I've been through some real deal, real world testing with this bad boy. Like I said before, it's probably 60, it might be 70 miles on this bike already. So trust me, I have ridden it up hills. I have ridden it on the street. I've ridden it on the sidewalk. I'm out here where there ain't no sidewalk or street. And the power is enough to get me where I need to go without any trouble. The braking has been A1. Now, mind you, I'm not flying on this bike doing 50 miles per hour and trying to hit the brakes as fast as possible. But when I've needed the brakes, even going downhill in this type of terrain, the brakes have held me down without an issue. I've also tested the turning capabilities of this bad boy. Now, it's a little bit different to a motorcycle. That's what I'm used to. But I've been able to hit corners pretty fast on this bad boy. Corner confidence is amazing. It's different. I'm not, position myself off the bike like I'm doing on a motorcycle, but I'm able to control it and use both the front and the back brakes to kind of modulate that turn and get the tire sticking while I'm going through the turns. Now, with all that said, let's get into some of the pros and the cons about this bike. Like I said, I've put about 70 miles on here, seeing, the backwoods of Georgia on this trail right here. We got a trail out here called Silver Comet Trail, which stretches about 60 miles through like the top part of Georgia. And I've just been able to see beautiful scenery, been able to get out here and kind of connect with people that are riding bikes, and just being able to hop off and feel like a kid again. As far as comfortability, that is where it can be kind of a pro and con, because as far as I've been on this bike, I've had 0 issues with it being comfortable, but I can see how if you're on this bike for an extended period of time, this seat is gonna get uncomfortable. But this is a bike, it's a moped-style type of bike. So as soon as it gets a little uncomfortable, just park it and hop off. So that hasn't really been an issue. The battery operation, which I forgot to mention. Now, this isn't a con or a pro, This is my first e-bike, so I don't know, but it's gonna take you some strength to get this bad boy off of here. It also is gonna take you some strength to get this bad boy out of here and back into here. So those are the pros and cons that I have about this bike. Now, who is this for? I don't know the age limit on this, but I got a 16-year-old daughter that would love this bike. And then I could suggest this all the way up to people as old as my parents or older. Like I said, you don't need to do any pedaling at all. I do it because I use it for, you know, working out and stuff like that, and just to get my blood flowing. But this thumb throttle right here is all you need, and that bad boy gets floating. So with that said, get used to seeing this bike. It's gonna be parked right in the garage next to the other bikes. I'm using this bike to get ready for the riding season. I'm using this bike to get my two-wheel therapy itch scratched when I don't want to fire up the motorcycle. Doesn't take any gas. All it takes is a charge, which I forgot to mention. These batteries take several hours to charge. I really don't know how long, because I usually put it on there at the end of the night, and then I wake up and it's green and ready to rock and roll. But with that said, I appreciate you guys rocking with me. I appreciate TST for sending this bad boy out to me. We got a discount code in the description right now. Go tell your friends about it. If you have this bike, drop some comments down there. Let me know how you like this bike. And like I said, we just got this bike. We put 70 miles, but we can only tell how tough it is with the test of time. So we're gonna keep riding this bad boy, and I'll keep updating you guys on my channel about this bike. Appreciate it. I'm about to ride out. Peace.